ドラゴンダイブ。敵を死認でき
You're probably looking at one of the most badass moments in anime history, the Dragon Dive, performed by Isaac Netero and one of the most unforgettable scenes in Hunter x Hunter, and today we will try to recreate it inside Minecraft. The first thing that I did is to place a lot of armor stand that we will use as a structure for our dragon dive. Once you're done, depending on how many armor stand you place or how many your phone can handle, actually I could place some more armor stand to make it a lot bigger, but I don't think my phone can handle that much of entities, so this is enough for me. So we're just gonna save it inside a structure file, so I'm just gonna name it Dragon Dive. You can name it whatever you want, but for me, I just name it Dragon Dive. Once you're done, you should have something that looks like this, but before we go and save it, first thing we need to do is add a tag to the armor stand instead of naming it one by one. So I'm just gonna add a tag to all of the armor stand, and we're gonna add the tag Dragon Dive. Once I'm done saving the structure, so I just set up a test armor stand to test out the particle and the layout of the particle. So this is good and quite nice, but I want it to spin, so let me just activate this command to make it spin. So as you look at now, so this particle command is kinda look like a 3D model and kinda look like a meteorite rather than an arrow, but you know, that's all we can get, and that's the only particle that is yellow and big, so we're gonna stick to that.
Let's go.
Here I made a scoreboard randomizer that basically gives a random score to the armor stand, and depending to that score, that's how much fast or that how fast they're gonna be teleported down. And this thing just gives all of the entities that has tag Dragon Dive 0, so this first command should detect the armor stands. And this thing just detects whenever a block is on the armor stand and summon a Ender's Crystal, and this thing just detects if there's an entity nearby the armor stand or the Dragon Dive and will summon an Ender's Crystal. This last command basically just plays a fire sound to the nearby players, and actually let me show you how this sounds. So let's just turn off this explosion and this thing, cause we don't want it to explode while testing it. So this thing, oh, it disappeared. Now if we place a armor stand, this should play the fire sound particle found out. Fuck, the fire sound effect to the nearby player, and if we go far we wouldn't hear it. So it's just a little bit cool detail that you can add in the command.
Wow.
So guys, I have here an item that I've saved inside the structure block. So this item is what we're gonna use for item casting or ability casting for the command. So I just saved it, but make sure before you save it, add the tag Dragon Dive item or any tag that you would like, so it wouldn't be detected by the command block whenever it spawned the item. Also, this item has a custom data, so it wouldn't be detected the normal blaze powder, and the first command basically just detects whenever an item is on the player's feet and add the tag Dragon Dive. And the second command basically just detect whenever the item is on the player's head, and it will add the tag Dragon Dive. So let me show you an example. The first command detects that block, for example your feet, and the second command detects your head. And this third command just kills the item after it gives a tag. Okay, now let's move on. So this command just basically add a 300 scores for the cooldown of the player. So basically you need to create another scoreboard for the cooldown. So we have two scoreboards in total, one for the armor stands and one for the player. So the next command just replace the air above the player into barrier, and the so it will catch the player, and this thing just add effect levitation, so the player float whenever he cast an item, and this thing just remove all of the effects whenever the cooldown reaches 1. And right after that we will add a slow falling effect to the player so they wouldn't take fall damage. And this second command just slow the structure dragon dive, the armor stand that we saved earlier, on top of the player, basically 5 blocks above the player. And next command just fills the barrier around the player into air when the cooldown reaches 1. So basically it reset all of the barrier. And this next command just remove the tag dragon dive whenever the player reaches cooldown of 1. And this next command just set all the player that doesn't have a tag dragon dive to CD0. And this last command just removes scores to all the players that has CD1 and above, and it removes like cooldown 1. Okay guys, I'm sorry in advance for the bad quality audio. So in case if you didn't understand what I'm saying, you can download the map that will be linked in the description, so you can check the commands yourself and maybe understand the commands by your own. Anyways, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe now. I'm begging you, please, 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 so I could make a more content in the future. So let's go. So this is basically the whole command, but we will add more commands in later, so it will be more cool. So let's test, and as you can see, as soon as we drop the item, we will be levitated up and the structure will summon above us. So then whenever it reach the ground, it will just explode. So I'm kinda getting laggy because especially I'm recording right now, but if I'm not recording, it's really smooth. So I recommended trying it by yourself guys, and it's really cool also and super destructive. So be careful or use it to destroy your friend house. So now let's proceed.
今天卡起墙上写着秦香莲的32岁了，整个大
Now for the final command we have here in the first command is just a simple title command, and for the next command, for the second command, it will just play a beacon that activates sound, and for the third command, it will play a mob that ally death sound, and for the last command, it will just play a bell that hits sound. So yeah, that's all. Now our command creation is complete. Now our command block is complete, we can test how destructive and powerful this dragon dive ability from Netero. As soon as the title pops up and the sound play, it automatically load the structure and the structure is complete. And this is really destructive, especially if you made a bigger version of this, but if you do, make sure to tag me so I could rate it or I could feature it in another video. Also, I want to make a video reacting to your command block creations and rating it. So if you do want to participate, just join my Discord server. Link will be in my description, and just upload your command block creation in the command creation center with a word download file so I could notice it. Anyways, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye!